During the New Year's, on the highway back home to our hometown, my younger brother pestered us to stop for a bathroom break. My mother nudged both my older sister and me. The next rest stop is quite far from here. You should head to the washroom. Otherwise, you'll regret it later. Be quick. Don't dilly-dally. Just as I jumped out, my family's car pulled away and started driving away. The temperature was close to the freezing point, but my parents left me behind at an unmanned rest stop. I could only rush over and yell after them, "Dad! Mom!" I looked in the direction of where the car went. My lips trembled as I kept mumbling, "Dad! Mom! I'm not in the car yet." My voice was very faint, as if broken by the cold wind the moment it reached my lips. It vaguely echoed in the empty rest stop. The next second, what was left of my shock and fear was replaced by a cold, numbing sensation. I slowly shifted my gaze away and looked at my surroundings. The huge rest stop was eerily silent. Under the dim streetlight, the entire sky was white. I did not see a single soul around. I knew that even if I cried, no one would come and comfort me. I really could not stand the piercingly cold wind, so I turned around and walked back toward the washroom, where I would at least be sheltered from the freezing temperature. In the quiet washroom, I could only hear my soft breathing and the wind blowing. I did not know how long I was in the washroom. I slowly felt the warmth leaving my body. Just when I was about to lose consciousness from the cold, I heard soft footsteps coming from the entrance. My heart skipped a beat, and I immediately perked up, staring intensely at the door. Was that my mother? Did she finally realize that I was not in the car and turned around to find me? The door creaked open. However, it was an unfamiliar older lady, dressed in a puffer jacket, who walked in. The light in my eyes went out. I smiled wryly. I had expected too much. When the lady saw me, she was obviously stunned. It was probably because she had not expected to see a young girl alone in a rest stop washroom located in such a remote area. She sized me up for a bit before asking gently, "Hey, are you here alone? Where are your parents?" When I heard her asking about my parents, I started to tear up. I suppressed the urge to cry and said in a hoarse voice, "Hello, I was forgotten by my parents. Can I borrow your phone to give them a call?" When she heard that, she looked like she felt pity toward me. She immediately took out her phone from her pocket and said gently, "Quick, call your parents. Don't catch a cold from such cold weather." I took her phone. My fingers were numbed from the cold, so I accidentally pressed the wrong number a few times until I finally managed to type in the right one. I took a deep breath and pressed the dial button. While I waited and listened to the ringing tone for the call to get through, I was extremely nervous and hopeful. However, no one answered the call. The hand that was holding the phone started to tremble lightly. The hope that I had in me started to die. The lady looked at me and comforted me with a soft voice. "Don't worry, maybe the signal is bad. Let's try again." I nodded and pressed the call button again. I pressed the phone tightly against my ear. I prayed that I would be able to hear my parents' voices this time. It was an excruciatingly long waiting time. My breathing hitched with every beep I heard. At the seventh, the call finally got through. I heard my mother's blurred voice amid the wind and the car music. "Hello?" I instantly felt relieved and teared up some more. My grief and fear formed a lump in my throat, and I tried my best to speak softly with my hoarse voice. "Mom, I didn't get back in the car. You left me at the rest stop." I had just said that when my mother refuted, sounding firm and impatient. "Impossible." Before we left, I asked if everyone was in the car. Mandy and Matthew both said yes. "How could you have been left behind?" There was a slight pause. I could imagine my mother turning around and looking at the back seats. The few seconds of silence felt colder than the wind. I thought she would be anxious and guilty, but she started blaming me sharply. "Why didn't you tell us that you didn't get into the car? Don't you know how to yell and stop us? Why did you only call us when we've driven so far? You're causing so much trouble." The accusation was an ice-cold needle that burst my bubble of hope. I bit my lower lip forcefully and forced myself not to cry.